My life is literally like a drama show. So I was minding my own business, creating variety packs for my cardstock warehouse in my kitchen. And then I get this doorbell notification that we have somebody at the door. Sure enough, there was, and it was the semi-truck driver delivering my brand new P3. It's a whole semi-truck just for me. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but it's huge. And there's my husband. He moved my car because we're gonna have to put this in the garage for right now. That's 400 pounds. She's a big one. Oh my gosh, she's so big. I love her. She's so big. This thing is huge. I am not entirely sure how it's gonna fit. What do we got? We got an IF2. We got a rotary attachment. We got some conveyor rails here. We have a feeder. I'm assuming that's your conveyor feeder with the rails. The P3. Oh, and this is the mobile work stand right here. So here is the deal. My husband seems to think that the P3, its stand and all its things, is going to fit into my craft room right here. This is where he thinks it's going. The craft room right now is an absolute mess right now because remember, I was making variety packs. I was not anticipating on getting a huge P3 to go into my craft room. The one downfall about these semi-truck drivers showing up to my door at this time, at this day, is I actually have to leave to go get my son out of school and take him to the dentist because he has teeth cleaning. He has braces. It's very important. Dental health care is really important, your friends. Okay, but anyways, I can't unbox this dang thing because I have other things I gotta go do. I gotta do mommy duties, no crafting duties, which is, I guess, is okay by me because here is the deal. My husband's the one who puts everything together. I don't like putting anything together. So while I am at the dentist with our son getting his teeth cleaned, he is going to assemble the workstation thing, put it into place. Hopefully by the time I get back, all the hard manual labor will be done and I could just get to crafting and see what this P3 is all about. I don't know. I seriously don't know if it's easy to set up or anything. The thing is freaking massive. I also don't think it's fitting through my doors. He seems to think it will. I just don't think it's going to. This is either going to be, it's going, welcome to my life where I don't know if things are actually going to work out or not. I hope they do because I don't want to stand in the garage and do any type of laser cuttings. I just want to be in my craft room in the comforts of my craft room. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? Anyways, let's watch the hubs, put the thing together while I
For the most part, the husband said that this was very easy to assemble. The directions were well thought out, super easy, not hard. He does suggest that you pick up like a battery operated screwdriver thingamajig. He loves his. It has like this special torque that doesn't over torque or strip or do things. I don't know, but he strongly suggests you buy one. He did use it for like half the assembly of this and then it died. So we had to hand tighten and screw everything. And he was like, yeah, no, don't, you need to get this thing. The packaging of the P3 is actually pretty cool. On the top of my box, there was this random piece of wood. I'm assuming that is some sort of test material. We're going to set that to the side. Inside, you're going to have a couple different packaging items. In the very top of it, it tells you how to unpack it, which essentially is just take everything out of it and then unwrap the sides. Pretty cool. You will note that it says you need 4 adults. There's only 2 people here. This is going to be interesting.
All right, so we ran into a little bit of a snafu. The snafu is I don't have man muscles to lift this. I mean,
I do.
There's just, I don't have enough faith in my arms to be able to lift it. So Matt suggests that we need to take whatever else is left in this machine.
I'm hoping there's stuff on the inside that.
Yeah, he said, you know, he's unboxed enough of these with me to know that they like to stuff things inside the machine. So we're going to try and get it as light as possible, and we'll see. Oh, look. This is going to do all the difference right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is...
I was, what, 4 or 5 pounds?
Not even.
Not even.
Yeah, I just don't think that this is going to happen. Yeah, this just isn't moving for me. Bro, even if we wanted to keep it in the garage, I still couldn't even lift it.
No, we're gonna need a couple
Cue
people
some
around.
really helpful neighbors that saved the day. I went and knocked on one of my neighbor's door and said, "Please help me." And he was able to lift the laser with just him and the husband, put it on the little tray thing, and then slide it, roll it into place. It went through my front door. My front door was large enough to go through this thing.
Okay, so just for size reference, the length of the P2S is 39 inches, just a little over 39 inches. The P2S and the P2 were the same exact size. So 39 inches for this one. And then this one right here is 49 inches. So you're getting, this one right here is 10 inches longer. And obviously the depth of this thing is like a very big difference. This one right here is about 31 inches and the P2S is about 24 inches. So you're definitely getting a larger machine. The cool thing though, is that with every other laser machine that I have ever gotten, looked at, you have to buy a table separately from this. I do know the table comes separate with the P3, but it matches and you can get it all together in this thing. That was the one thing I was like, Heidi, my girl over at xTool, I was like, please send the table with the P3 because there is no way I'm gonna be able to find a table for this. Where do you find a table this big? So I'm thankful that I have the table here with it and it's all aesthetically pleasing. You know, I just love this. Okay, so let's move this out of the thing. I mean, look how easy this rolls. So easy. We're gonna be able to do all of the rest of this setup because there are things that I'm gonna have to do on the back. I have to put in the antifreeze. It's the same antifreeze that you get with the P2 and the P2S. It's the part of the project that stresses me out the most. I don't even know if I have to mix it, but like pouring the antifreeze into the lasers, I don't know, it's so stressful. So let's open this up. The only thing that I think that can be improved on the packaging of the xTool is when you open it up for the first time, I want to hear a because these things, kid in a candy store today. I am so excited. This is going to be so much fun. So what is in here? This is a lens set. Oh, poop. I just dropped that. Hopefully I didn't break it. Okay, we got a lens set. This, and this. I'm not entirely sure what this all means, so I'm gonna put this back in here because I don't know what that means. And then we have, okay, wait a minute. There's two different lenses apparently. You have a 1.5 inch lens and then a 2.5 inch lens. What that means, I don't know. We're gonna set those over to the side. I put it back in the bag so I don't have to lose any of the pieces. We have foam, don't need. This right here is to adjust, like making sure your cameras and everything are perfectly aligned. So we're gonna need that. We got some safety instructions and also the quick start guide. We got a funnel. This is going to help me put in the antifreeze. They do give you the antifreeze. They do print what we're gonna need to do on the back. Everyone's going to be different. So if you're watching this, you're trying to unbox with me, your antifreeze is probably gonna be different than my antifreeze if we're not living in the same location. It's all about like temperature, where you put your thing. Okay, these right here are gonna be the things that you clamp your material down to the slats that are underneath here. There's 4 of them in total, in 2 bags. 2 in each. We got power cord, a USB-C connector cable, this thing right here. I love the fact that they have this because before it only came with a C to a USB and my computer is a C only. So I like the fact that they have this. Just like with everything about xTool, they give you this little tool thing. It has a key, it has some extra screws, and it comes with a screwdriver. We're gonna set that over to the side. This is for venting purposes.
In all the
And
years
then
of
that's
owning an
it.
xTool laser, this xTool laser's quick start guide is the best written quick start guide ever. They've also streamlined it to where we don't have 50 million pieces and things like that to just get started. We do have to take out these rubber things. This is to hold your head and also your arm in place during shipping. I would keep these. If you ever decide to move establishments, homes, whatever, you're going to want to reuse that. These like little rub things, you're going to put it back into its original place. So don't throw away these things. I just want to mention that.
This little key is gonna go right here. So we're gonna put this in here. Your thing will not run or operate without this being put in here. That is the safety feature. So, you know, if you ever leave or anything like that, won't be able to turn it on. And then the other thing you have to do is come back here and just release the emergency hatch. Okay, the next thing that the directions state to do is just to make sure that your head freely moves in all directions. We have to make sure you can move the laser. So we're going to move it to the left, to the right, all the way to the right. And we're going to be able to bring this all the way to the front. And we're not going to have any issues being able to move this around, which is perfect. All right, so the next step is going to be the most stressful step, filling up the antifreeze. All right, so the one thing that is really important is that you just need to get yourself purified water. This jug has only been used for the xTools that I've had, the original P2, the P2S, and now this one. Hopefully I have enough because I only have like a quarter of the thing left. But it's purified drinking water is what you need. It is different from distilled or even tap water that comes out of your tap, or even out of your, if you have like a refrigerator that has filtered water. That's totally different. You need purified water. It's very important. Then what we have to do is figure out if you operate in Celsius, great for you. You don't have to do any type of conversions, but I operate in Fahrenheit. So I need to figure out what the ratio is. It's going to be different for everyone, like I said before. So we'll do the lowest annual temperature in my region. The average low is going to be 40 degrees Fahrenheit for my area. So 40 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius is 4 degrees Celsius. So I need to be here in the 0 to the -10. Oh, okay, great. So that's convenient. The directions actually tell me exactly what I have to do because I am at the -10 degree one, this one. So I just have to follow the directions. That's really convenient. So it says open the water tank and insert the funnel. This is your water tank right here, which is a little plug. Okay, then we're going to put in the funnel. They've made it really easy now that all we need is to follow this little thing right here. So I need to put in the antifreeze first. All right, so start filling the tank. Fill it all the way until it reaches this 10 mark. I do want to show you though that it is going to be kind of hard to see the water or the antifreeze that's in there. So I just used, it's still kind of hard to see, but like it looks like there's some condensation already in that. You can kind of see that, but I went a little bit over on accident because I couldn't hardly see. So just be careful, don't. All right, so going back to here, we are gonna take this. We are just going to fill this all the way up until you reach the max. I can do hard things. I did it all by myself this time. All right, so now that that's done, I'm just going to take this out. I'm gonna go put this in the sink real quick. All right, we gotta put the plug back in. I've never done this by myself before. I've always had my husband do it, and now with this was so easy. Okay, now it says we plug this bad boy in. I'm excited. Oh my gosh, it's starting all on its own. Well, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hook in the inline fan. I'm also going to use this fan too, so I have to pull that out as well.
You are going to need the inline fan for this machine. I'm going to tell you right now, it works really well. I'm pretty sure that the P3 actually doesn't have a fan on the inside of the actual laser, which is normal. I've had other lasers before that actually don't have fans on the inside. So they have the one that's on the outside, which is the IF2. The RA2, the filter. While I plug it in, I'm going to explain to you later why I take it off. Wait for that. But putting this all together is not hard at all. I swear, eventually I'm going to show you some really cool projects that I made with the P3 for my very first one. But there is it's quite a bit of setup, not really quite a bit. I don't feel like it's anything more than what I did with the P2S, but like this one, because the machine price is kind of lofty, I wanted to make sure I did everything correct. So as far as setting up the filter and all that stuff, I wanted to make sure it's correct. I did a firmware update. We are doing the firmware update right now. Also, there is some alignment things that you want to get done, some camera things you do. It's really self-explanatory and super easy through the software. So you don't really need my direction. You just go to the software, follow the directions on the software. They hook you up. And now we've finally gotten to the point where we can do a test cut or a few test cuts or a few something or another. First thing I'm going to try is just a basic little shape because I want to get my bearings straight with this machine. I'm just going to be using some test material or like scrap material that I have here laying around in my craft room. Now, this machine is unlike any machine that I have ever played with. There is this thing called auto everything. Here's my real life reactions of exactly what this auto annual, I don't even know, I can't even tell you. It's auto everything. It is so cool. Device ready. Open the lid with auto capture. We're going to open the lid. Okay. Place material. And we're going to put it, close the door. It's going to auto. It's identifying the material. It's auto measuring. Holy cow, look at that. That was that was so cool. All right. Unknown material. It's 3mm basswood, so I'm just gonna press apply. I got it. Let me just insert a shape. I'm gonna do a star. I love doing stars just because we get a good idea of like what the cut settings are. So I'm gonna go here to cut. Let's just use their suggested ones. Okay, I need to turn on all of my things first. All right, we got everything turned on. It's super loud in here. Let's just press process. Confirm the nozzle is installed. I don't know. It says yes. Did you see that on the screen? You can see it on the screen here. Oh, how freaking cool. For my first cut, I have just like a little bit of like a mist thing right here. So probably better settings, but like for my very first cut, that's amazing. Okay, so I have to actually cut some ornaments for an order on my cardstock warehouse. This is a piece of clear acrylic, so I'm gonna put this into my bed. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out and see what happens. Let's just press process. Before I press process though, what I am going to do is turn on all of my stuff. For 5 of these, it's gonna take 1 minute and 43 seconds. I have to say that the P2 versus this one, it's pretty similar in the sound. The only reason why it sounds so much louder in here is because they have that extra inline fan. But like this right here, they cut so much faster and better. I mean, I'm sold. So I kind of want to figure out this rotary thing. I don't know how easy it is. I can tell you that the rotary for the P2S is kind of a pain in the butt, so I never use it because
I don't like using it, but what does this one look like and feel like? This is some really nice packaging.
I know I'm blowing through a lot of this because, to be honest with you, unboxings are very tricky for me. I want to be able to show you all the capabilities of the new machines that I'm unboxing, but not drag them out so they're 15 hours long. The amount of recording time for unboxing this P3 is about 10 hours. It's quite a bit. So I'm just going to fast forward through everything, and then I'll have like individual videos on like how to use the P3, how to assemble the rotary, and how to use it with the P3. I'm also going to use the conveyor later. I'm going to show you that I use it, but not how to set it up because that's going to be dedicated video of itself. Okay. So I just want you to know that I do end up using the rotary. There are directions that go to it. It is possible. I would say that this rotary is a lot easier to use than any other rotary that I have used in other laser machines, which is wonderful. Takes a little bit to learn how to use it, but it's not impossible. And then I do end up doing an engraver with it.
All right, so we are gonna try this. Okay, so this is definitely not perfect, but it's my very first one, and so I want to share it with you just so you know that at the first one, although I did not get a perfect one, I did get a good looking tumbler. So this was what it ended up turning out. I don't think I did the auto measure thing perfect because there seemed to, it wanted to just keep going. It said it was going to take like 6 hours. That was not right. And because the auto measure was not done correctly, I had this like little gap that was right here. Well, I fixed it and I put grandpa's fishing cup right there. It's perfectly centered on this right-handed thing. So we have this right here and then the fishing guy right here. So he can actually see the fishing guy like this. And then everyone else can know that Grandpa's drinking out of it. For the first one that I've ever done on this machine, I am impressed. I love it. I'm going to go give this to my neighbor now and then tomorrow because I am done for today. I am going to try and figure out how to do the conveyor feeder thing because I want to do some really large signs. Okay, so here's the deal. It's been a couple days, and the reason for that is while I was running this and I was cutting the wood, I was cutting the acrylic, and then I was engraving that tumbler, I was like, there's no way that there should be this much smell permeating out of that. So I reached out to my contact at xTool, and they told me that the AP2 filter that I had with the P2 and the P2S does not work well with this bad boy right here. So what you have to do is you have to either vent out of a window or use the AP2 Max. She said it's currently out of stock. So what I went ahead and did is grabbed myself a little thing that I'm gonna put inside my window and I'm gonna be able to vent out of it, and the smoke is going to stay outside and not come back in. So I'm going to hook that up, disconnect the AP2 from here, and then we'll start fresh with a whole new project for today. Okay, so I've inserted the little thing. I'm not going to lock it into place because I don't want this to be a permanent fixture. If you wanted to, the set that I bought also comes with the foam that would make it to where it doesn't, like it becomes more of a permanent fixture. I'm not going to. At the end of the day, when I'm done using this, I'm just going to take this out, and then when I want to use it again, just redo it. I'm going to leave this window available for me anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And it slides right out of the way. This thing is really easy to move. Okay, before we do another long project, what I want to do is now test to see the difference in the smoke, the smell, and the suction, because when I got done the other day with doing all of that, I had such a severe headache. I was like, there's something wrong here. Like nothing's adding up. So let's just cut out a couple small little things, test out the smoke, what's happening, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got the auto mode turned on. So all I'm gonna do is add in a piece of my acrylic, and I'm gonna shut this. Okay, and then this thing is pretty intuitive. It tells me that I need to put this one back in. I took this off the other day. Oops. I don't know why I just did that when we did the engraving on the tumbler. So I'm just gonna screw it back in. Awesome. All right, so then I need to turn on just the inline fan. All right, now let's press the button and see how well this does when it cuts just acrylic. The one thing I do love about this laser is that we get this really cool camera feature It's also a lot quieter when you're not using the filter with the inline fan. But anyways, going back to this, I love the fact that we get this actual picture, and then you also have a side view camera as well. That's actually, I love it. Love that we can actually see what's going on within our machine. All right, so we're gonna turn that off and then open this up. Look at how clean that is. And then here are my acrylic pieces that have no issues at all. I can tell you right now, just by taking out that filter and filtering out into the window, tremendous difference in the smell quality. Tremendous. Let me actually ask my husband, because he's the one who came in here and was like, whoa, are you even venting? So hold on. To see, does it smell?
No, I can smell it out here though.
Well, my poor neighbors, because my husband is outside packing cardstock orders and he has the garage door open. That's where we house all of our cardstock and that's where he ships it all. And he was like, what is that smell? And then he remembered, oh, he's like, oh, she must be using the laser cutter right now. He can smell it from outside, meaning it's actually working, but you can't smell it here within my craft room. So the answer to this is if you have the P3 and you also have the AP2, do not use it, because it's not, the AP2 is not powerful enough for how much this does the suction. So you're gonna wanna do it out the window or get the AP2 Max. Hold off on that though, because like I don't even have it. So does it actually work? I don't know. But the smell is 100% completely gone when you put it through the window, which is wonderful. I love it. Okay, so now what I feel like I want to do is try and do that conveyor. This right here, you know what's crazy is this piece of wood right here actually fits within this bed. So to give you an idea, this one right here came with the P3 as like a test material. This right here is what generally would fit into my P2S, that thing right there. Look at the size difference here. This would fit into the P2S. This is the P3. The huge difference here is going to be crazy. But I kind of want to try and figure out the conveyor feeder. I'm going to stress myself out today, but that's okay. Let's do it. So I have the conveyor feeder all set up and ready to go. I went over to Lowe's and got myself a sheet of 1/4 inch, 2 foot by 4 foot birch wood.
Remember what I said about the rotary and everything else? I am going to do a dedicated video of just this conveyor feeder, but I have to tell you, it's super easy to use. There's some tips and tricks that I'll give you later on in that video, but watch this thing do its cut. Now, you will notice that I am standing over by my window. That's because I didn't put uh the foam strip down, and some of the wood was like filling into my craft room. So I'm gonna fix that problem after I'm done with this, but just know you probably are gonna need that foam strip. But anyways, watch this thing do its cuts. I think it took a total of 6 minutes and 56 seconds for this one. Not too bad.
So I probably did way too many tabs, but you know what? More tabs is better than not enough, because if you do not enough, you're gonna ruin an entire piece of wood because you can't redo everything because the conveyor is going to get jammed up. But if you do too many, that's okay, because you could just use an X-Acto knife, pop it off, no problem. So what the tabs are, because I can't really tell you, it's like a perforated thing, but this is what they are. The machine just kind of does like a hiccup every so often, so it holds your piece of material into place, doesn't fall off and jam up the conveyor feed. It happens, trust me. So when you have a tab, this is what your finished products will look like on the inside. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but you're gonna see like hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. It will look like the machine didn't do a good cut. It did. It just, you told the machine to do a hiccup. Now, all I have to do is because my settings were probably a little bit too much power, because I got a little bit of dust in certain areas, probably where like the wood was a little bit bowed. All I got to do is just sand off a little bit of that, stain it, and we're ready to go. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now, the greatest thing about this machine right here is, let's say you are done playing around with the conveyor feeder. What you want to do is turn the machine off, because you have to unplug some things. But you don't have to, like the setup process of setting up the conveyor feeder was kind of a lot. And like, you don't want to have to redo everything. All you have to do is just turn the dials loose to loosen up your conveyor feeder rails, front and the back. This right here, all you have to do is just push this up, magnetizes onto your machine. You don't have to screw it back into place. On the back, you just want to put this back on. It's just a magnet. And then this right here is the smoke screen. That is going to go right here, just like that. All you need to do is turn your machine back on, and then you're ready to start using your laser engraver for something else. So it doesn't have to stay a conveyor feeder. The conveyor feeder for the P2S, I had it, wasn't as intuitive as this one, a lot harder to put together. And you had to have 3 different tables to hook it. It just was a lot. I had to have so many things. It took so much more space. This one right here isn't like that. It's definitely so much nicer and easier to use than the P2S conveyor feeder. Now, to be honest with you, I doubt that you can use the new conveyor feeder for the P3 with the P2S. So if you're looking for a better way to do really large cutouts, this right here is going to be a game changer for you, just because it's so much easier. You don't have to have a second, third table. They all click with the machine. It's absolutely perfect. The rotary attachment tool, from what I understand, you can use that with the P2S or the other machines. If that is the case, I don't know, that could be false advertisement. That could be false news. But I'm just saying, if that is the case, what I would strongly suggest is getting the rotary attachment tool, the new one. The magnets and the fact that you don't have to unscrew anything, it all just magnetizes all together. Super, super easy to use. Super easy to use. Way better. Like, I'll be doing more tumblers now because the tumbler, the rotary feature, so much easier to use than the original one that they came out with. Love the fact that this is bigger. You will notice that in my craft room, I am now missing the P3. The P3 is actually right there. It is getting rolled out, and I'm going to have my husband take the P3 to storage because she's being retired. Or P3? Did I just say the P3? The P2S is out of here and in the hallway because she's going to storage, the P2S. This right here is staying. She is permanent. She's a permanent fixture in my craft room. The bed size is absolutely amazing. Love the fact that I can do huge projects without ever actually needing the conveyor feeder, but having the conveyor feeder is actually really neat and it's so easy to use. My thoughts about everything else is I'm just impressed. It's aesthetically pleasing. I love the color white, so love that. Love how fast it is. It is fairly quiet. However, the inline fan that you have to use with it is kind of loud. That's okay though, because once I am venting out of a window, 0 smoke issues, no scent at all, which is absolutely amazing. So you're gonna need that inline fan, which I think it comes with the P3. I love the fact that everything is auto everything. You put the material in, it automatically sees where everything is. There's so many more features that I didn't even cover in this video that I'm gonna have to do a wrap-up video because there is so many cool, neat features with this machine. But definitely worth the wait. I love how big it is. I love that I now have the ability to do larger projects. When you're first starting out in the laser world, getting a really large bed is kind of intimidating. But the great part is that xTool's program and the way that they have things set up and their machines are so easy to use. It makes for like even the noobs to like know how to use a laser. So even if this is going to be your first laser, definitely a buy. Even if you get like the M1 Ultra as your starter laser, the great part about it is when you get that starter laser, if you ever decide you want to move forward in getting one of these bad boys, the software is exactly the same. So while it may seem like it was super easy for me to use the xTool P3, it's because every other machine that they have all uses the same software. So learning a new software, I never have to do, which is amazing. I love that. This is why I keep sticking with the xTool machines, is just because they make switching out machines. So easy, user friendly, and they just get the job done. I love them. All right, y'all, I sure hope that you are excited about this new machine as I am. Felt like a kid in a candy store, and I just can't wait to see what else I create with this thing. I'll see you later.